you understand that organization is deeper than someone having your phone number. And to make change happen, you need to be energized, but you have to find a way to truly and deeply organize the people. And what I want you to understand is you have a gift for organizing people, and you really need to understand that you can use that gift in some special ways. And if you're not using it, you're wasting it, and that's a problem. So you need energized people, you need organized people. But here's the third and the fourth thing, and we drop the ball on this a lot. You can get the people and they can be energized and they can be organized, but if you don't have the third thing, you won't make change happen. You need a comprehensive plan for change. Here's why we don't have a plan for change. It's because we move from emergency to emergency, crisis to crisis, shooting to shooting, murder to murder. And it basically feels sometimes as a community like our house is on fire. And we're moving from crisis to crisis, and it puts us in a reactionary position. And when your house is on fire, it's a hell of a time to make a plan. And so we're in this weird position where we're angry, we're irritated, we got energy, we're kind of organized. But when I ask anybody, hey, what's our plan for change? I mean, I have spoken at 200 colleges and universities. I've spoken at almost every law school in America. Even when I ask the people that should have a plan, what's the plan? They don't have one. We are losing because we really don't even have a plan to take us from where we are to where it is we want to go. What's the plan? I'll be very specific. Are any of you right now, can any of you tell me the 5 things that the Democratic Party really cares about? Hell, they don't even have a plan. The Democratic Party, if the Democratic Party has a plan, we don't know it. And here's the thing, a plan is only as effective as the ability of everyday people to repeat it back to you. If they have a plan and we don't know it, it's not a plan. It's not just the Democratic Party. I'm talking about on any issue. If it's criminal justice reform, if it's mass incarceration, if it's gun violence, like, what's the plan? And because we move from mass shooting to mass shooting, we're irritated, we're energized, we're starting to get organized, but I don't know the plan. Here's another part of the problem with the plan. Our problems, and you know this as MTA employees, the problems of America are actually very, very complicated. Your work is people don't understand how complicated your work is. And they don't understand how nuanced and complicated the mass incarceration is, how complicated gun violence really is. And what happens is we throw very simple solutions to highly complicated problems. And the problems overwhelm our solutions. Those are the first 3 things you need. Energized people, organized people, and you need a plan that's a hell of a lot better than what we have right now. It needs to be bigger, more nuanced, more comprehensive, and people like you and I need to know it so we can understand how to back it. And that's just not where we are right now. Not on the issues that matter. And before I get to step 4, let me tell you why at least I'm encouraged. I would be depressed if we were organized, energized, had a plan, and we kept failing. At least the good news of us not having a plan, it means we haven't thrown our best ideas at our worst problems yet. We haven't even gotten to the point where we've tried our best stuff. And that's what keeps me hopeful. But after you get the people organized and energized and you have a plan, the 4th thing you need in terms of mass incarceration or criminal justice, on so many, even gun violence, on issues that matter, you need the 4th thing, and we're dropping the ball, and it's money. You need a lot of money. And there's one group in particular that every single day nails, organized people, energized people, a really well-crafted plan, and they have a lot of money. Do you know who that group is? It's the NRA. You didn't even need me to tell you. But listen, divorce your mind from a moment from what you may think of them. But here's how good they are. They are so good that a few months ago, a man took basically a military cache of weapons in the middle of the day into a hotel, kicked out the window, and shot 541 people. And our country didn't do a thing about it. That wasn't because we weren't troubled. It was because there was already a group that was energized and organized with a plan that's well-funded that made sure this country didn't do anything. That wasn't an accident. That's on purpose. At the point in which someone went into an elementary school in Sandy Hook and killed 20 babies and this country didn't do anything, listen, it's not because we enjoy seeing children be killed. It's because there is an organization that makes sure nothing ever happens. Last year, the NRA spent $355 million. That is more than the top 10 civil rights organizations combined, hold on, times 10. You get the top 10 civil rights organizations, add up all of their budgets, and multiply it by 10, and you get the NRA's budget. And we wonder why they're so good and we don't get anything done. Here's what I want you to accept, because it puts the ball back in our court. We've been out-organized. The people who don't have our best interest at heart have out-organized and outspent us. It's that simple. It's not, this is just how it's always going to be. This is not our fate. It does not have to be this way forever. They out-organized and outspent us, so they win. And we lose. We've organized ourselves better before. We've pooled our money. It's not that we don't have money. But here's the thing. Just like you, every dollar in my budget matters. And like most of you, I'm not going to put my money into something if I don't know the plan. What's the plan? What's the goal? Is this going to work? And we're not there yet. I'll close with this thought. We will continue to get what we've been getting if we continue to do what we've been doing. We can keep marching and protesting, and I think we should. We can keep Facebooking and tweeting and Instagramming and signing petitions. We can keep doing that, but we have two choices. We can either add new stuff on top of that, or we can stop some of that and replace it with new action. But until we change up our methodology, it's going to be the same. And I'm not okay with that. I don't think you are either. I'll close because my life has been deeply impacted by the story of Khalif Browder. How many of you are already very familiar with the story of Khalif Browder here in the city? Now, I'm gonna make a confession here. When I moved to New York has a reputation for being, I guess, what we would call really progressive. In part because on our city council, 48 of the 51 people are Democrats, and that's supposed to mean something good. But New York's reality, because I'm new here, I have found as a new New Yorker, New York's reality doesn't quite line up with its reputation. And I saw video, not just of our current mayor, but of so many elected officials saying that after what happened with Khalif Browder in this city happened, that would never happen again. But they've hardly done anything of substance to actually make that a reality. It sounded good, but they don't do it. And it's not okay for us to be in this city with so much power, but so little change. And my hope is that here in Brooklyn and with you, that yeah, we can be organized people, energized people, but we have to create better plans that we actually fund, or we're going to continue to see new examples of exactly right now. I know, I'm working with these families. There are young men and women, teenagers, who are locked up at Rikers and in other facilities here in New York for crimes they did not commit, and the only reason they're there is because their families can't afford the bail, which is ridiculous. And here's what's happening. Other cities around the country are ending bail. Completely eliminating it, eliminating cash. The state of Alaska, the whole state said, in our state we will no longer have cash bail. So that nobody who was, because you're not guilty until you go to court. Did you understand that Khalif Browder was at Rikers for 3 years and never even went to court? Let me step on your toes. On your watch. On our watch. He was there for 3 years. They let a man go a couple weeks ago who had been there for 6.5 years and had never gone to court. But New York is right. New York is good. We have to hold people accountable for the words that they speak when their actions don't line up with them. Listen, I'm not as brave, and I'm also not a politician, so I don't have to give you my phone number, but I will give you my email address. All right? I'm not running for mayor, and I'm